As my computer never lets me know.
I think we are good.
Let's go. Well, hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Romeo.
Hey, what's up? Oh, got the
Well,
little one with you.
oh, look how cute. Look how cute. Uh,
Thank you.
well, let's get started, y'all. Let's start the topic of surviving and thriving, how we handle our most challenging rental experiences. Um, my name is Brandon. I should probably change my name here from Event Hawk. Yeah, my name is Brandon. I'm the head of customer support here at Event Hawk. So if you've had a training or you've called in or you've been into our Zoom room, you see me. This is Zoel, one of our fantastic workers, our marketing team, and also works at Bounce My House in Chicago area with Tariq. So she's here. She's gonna help us show us some stories and what's it's like in the warehouse and all that. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started, everybody. Um, how we handled our most challenging rental experiences. So I got something to show y'all to get the ball rolling. Tariq gave me a few things that he went through. One literally happened this weekend. So this just happened. What Saturdays? Well, Sunday? I'm not sure which day. Friday.
Friday. Yep.
Friday it happened. All right. So this like customer told the crew to drive up the driveway, right? And they obliged. As they were driving up the driveway, I don't know if y'all noticed this right here. This was a little low. And if you see right here what happened to the pavement, right? It kind of scraped the pavement a little bit. It totaled the truck. They had to get a tow truck, right, to get it pulled out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to get a tow truck to get that pulled out of there. But yeah, yeah. So this is a interesting one because Tariq was when Tariq initially saw it, he was like, "What? Why? Didn't you see how steep that hill was?" And their response was, "Well, the customer told us it would be okay to pull through the driveway." Right? That was literally word for word what they said. Customer told them to. So, um, I don't know about y'all, but I think the boys learned in this situation here. The customer doesn't always know what's best, right? Sometimes you guys got to use your like intuition here. Like they could have seen the steep hill, right? And they could have been like, "Ooh, we're riding a little low. We might scrape." Nope, they just kept going, and yeah, unfortunate as it is, this is what happened. Anybody have anything similar happen to them with their vehicle?
So they get fired?
No, no.
Mm. I'd have been firing somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
accidents
yeah.
happen.
Accidents
And
happen. And
sometimes
we're
you try to tend to listen to the customer when you get to their place. So accidents
That's what
happen.
a little common sense, I guess, but
our
it won't
delivery
happen again.
is right, right. Exactly. Right.
So what?
Them guys won't
So
listen
did
to
they
the
have to pay to get the
customer
pavement
ever
fixed and
again.
everything? Did they have
I,
to pay to get the pavement all fixed and everything?
I don't know about the pavement, but I just remember because it was funny from my perspective. So I was working in office that day and I was actually calling them because I needed help. I had a customer that was contacting me like, hey, this inflatable's kind of dirty, nasty, like yada, yada, yada. And we don't deliver dirty equipment. So I was even shocked. So I called the guys, the other crew that did not drop that one off. So I called them. I'm like, hey, this is what I need help with. I'm going on and on and on. And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I go, well, that's great. But the
Oh
hitch
no.
of the
Oh no.
Penske is in the pavement. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, can you elaborate? And so they tell me the whole story. And I was like, oh my God, did you call Tariq? And they're like, no. And I was like, why are you still on the phone with me? Go call Tariq. And thankfully it worked out that Tariq's brother-in-law was actually sitting in his buddy's tow truck as they
Wow.
were speaking, and they were able to and that saved us a lot of money because I mean tow trucks are not cheap as we all know.
You guys don't have
So
AAA out there?
we do, but thankfully again it worked out that Tariq's brother-in-law was literally in his buddy's tow truck. So we already had the
Oh, there you
hookup
go.
going and everything. So
Oh
If you're
wow.
gonna land this
Lucky.
business, man, I highly recommend it though. I mean, I love it. It's like $100 or something stupid for the year, and what you get for it is well worth it. It's like 100 miles, and I don't know if you guys have AAA where you're from, but it's pretty crazy on what they actually offer you for the membership fee. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart. We typically rent out depending on, how busy it is, we have like a long-term Penske we rent throughout like the pretty much the whole summer.
Is this one
We
it?
just use their insurance. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's our long-term Penske.
Oh, yay.
yeah,
Oh yay. Good thing it's near the
My
end of the
question is, did they have a power dolly in the truck?
We don't we don't use power dollies.
All you had to do was jack the back up and take the hitch out or go at an angle.
I heard you
The
don't use
hitch
power
don't-
dollies. Can I ask why? I was thinking about getting
Well,
one. Are they not worth it, or?
no, it
I
seems like they're
love
absolutely worth it. People love them. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it's worth it. It's just the ones that we use work for us. And they are a little bit cheaper. I don't know the exact price point between the ones that we have and then like the automatic dollies, but people say it's worth it. So yeah, I would say do it. I mean, I'm sure guys would love one, but we're happy with what we got. So
I think they're
the
like
$4,000 would have been a winch in the truck.
they're kind of expensive. Yeah, yeah.
Expensive, but well worth it when it's literally two people and you can throw a strap underneath the game and you're rolling it with a winch remote and you're not having to work near as hard on them waterlogged units. We're one
this
man
is
shows.
true. Yeah, this is true. I don't know if you were in I forget which round table it was. It was a couple of them ago though, but I had done my first pickup and I'm the office manager, so I stay my butt at a desk and I do all the behind the scenes stuff while the guys are out there doing all the muscle work. So we were short staffed one day and I was like, yeah, no problem, like I'll go with. And we had to pull up a waterlogged unit up a very small incline. Was not that bad of an incline, but I'll tell you what, I would love to have the power dolly for those scenarios. So I'm sure it sounds like it's worth it. We just personally don't have them ourselves over here, but I'm sure our guys would love them.
What
No.
keeps them what keeps them fit, right? Lifting all those heavy
Yeah.
houses, right?
You gotta stay swole over here.
That's right. Gain season.
Game season, I'm in the middle of it in a back brace because of a head-on collision. I am in the sidelines until the Labor Day weekend.
Ouch.
Oh.
Ouch. Ugh.
Yeah,
Hope you heal
July
sooner than you
22nd.
anticipate, man.
Ow.
Oh,
That was me
God's
last
got it. We
summer.
walked away from it.
Amen. Amen.
That was me last summer. Got drugged by a motorcycle, trying to put my bouncy house in the car.
Oh my God.
Insane. Who knew the bounce house bits was so dangerous? Just setting them up, right? My goodness.
I'll give you a nightmare customer.
Ooh.
We've got a client that is regularly will just message before a Memorial Day or Labor Day or whatever. Hey, can I get a water slide? Well, we take her the slip and slide that she requested on Friday, and then I get there and the husband is, well, where's the slide at? Because she was supposed to have worded she wanted the water slide and the slip and slide, and it was just worded as the slip and slide. So got a double booking on a delivery fee to drive back to go back to the same spot I was just at.
Oh. Yeah.
And then he gonna ask to have it later on Sunday, so we didn't get picked up till today.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh. It's today's Tuesday. Oh.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Today's
But the luxury is the customer blew it up. It was good and dried at the customer's house. They had a party, and now we get to go and get their demo off of their showroom floor anytime we need it.
nice. Okay.
They're a power sports market selling company.
Our sports market.
Wow.
Very cool.
Can-Ams, Polaris, whatever we want off the showroom floor. When we do a big event, we can go get whatever we want.
Nice. Okay.
Them headache customers know they're a pain, so they pay back well.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, sounds like a semi-even trade-off, maybe.
Agreed. All right. Well, I'm moving on to the next one Tariq showed me, guys. So, can anybody spot what is the problem here? I won't spoil it. I won't spoil. But Tariq told me. I first looked at this. I'm like, what's the issue? Like, I don't see anything wrong, right? And then he gave me the explanation behind this tent. I'm like, oh, okay. Can anybody guess what is not done?
I would say the corners ain't attached properly.
No, not the corners. Not the corners.
Is it the bottom piece?
Yeah. Anyone see these blue things?
The
You
bottom
okay?
piece, yeah, it's open.
You know these blue things here. Anybody see these?
Yeah,
Those are sandbags.
sandbags.
Those are sandbags. And that it is the issue, right? So the first tent that was ever set up for Tariq, it was for an estate sale in a parking lot, right? And even though they used the sandbags to hold it down, the tent ended up sliding and they found it on the other side of the driveway when they came back. Yeah. So Tariq's, so this was his, like, again, first ever tent. They felt really good about setting it up. They used the sandbags for weight, but did not matter. It just added to the fun of the moving of the tent.
Too much
So you
ice
shouldn't
on
use
the
the
floor.
sandbags, and you should use like big jugs instead.
Man, I never caught that. I'm in Arkansas. If there's that much on the ground, ain't nobody moving.
Fair enough. I didn't even notice the snow behind it. I'm in Arizona, so I'm not really sure what snow looks like.
Jojo,
What's up?
We'll send you some snow over there.
I'm good. I my whole life has been here. I enjoy the warmth and the 70 degrees in the winter.
I'll take it. It was 100 today. Send it my way.
Where
Yeah.
are you at, Lane?
I'm in Arkansas.
Warm. Just warm all over the country. I know it was like 112 today. It was all right. Nothing bad.
The problem is not the heat, it's the humidity. It's always like 85, 95% here.
Mm-mm.
But it never turns to snow.
I got you. I'll send you some Chicago snow because I sure as hell don't want it over here.
yes, yes. Well, we're gonna switch spaces. When it snow here, I'm coming to get you. We're gonna switch houses.
Hey, it's good for the bounce houses though, because we got a long season.
Oh, well, how long is your season go till then?
Man, sometimes we can go as long as December. It's last year it was 70 degrees in December.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, heck yeah. Is that like just your area, or like would you say like all of Arkansas? Or
Pretty much all of it. Arkansas has got like 3 different zones, but we're like right in the center. Maybe not in the Ozarks, but all the rest of it, yeah.
very cool. Wow, so elongated summer or
Yeah.
season. Nice. Okay, good to know. Right.
Just avoid the tornadoes.
Well, I'd rather stay in Chicago.
Mhm.
I'll take my half for the summer.
Hey, no joke though. I
Summer.
saw one got picked up by some wind and dropped a kid and it killed me.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
I think that. I think that. That's because people don't see. Some people are just getting into it and not staking, not doing nothing. I was at a event, well, Father's Day, at a park, and it was windy. The lady, I never seen it. I seen it on the video, but when I seen that in person, the bouncy house literally came off the ground. So you know me, I'm a bouncy house
Yeah.
owner. I see kids in there. I'm running over there. I was like, that ain't yours. I'm like, nah, it ain't even that. It's the fact that them kids in there.
Amen. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And the girl said they didn't pay for it, so they wasn't getting the steaks. What? Okay. I get it, I guess.
My
Oh.
pocket knife cuts through that vinyl real well. and I can replace a bounce, not a kid's memories. That would horrify a kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I know. And then I saw the one that most recently, like in Connecticut, right, with and where the stakes they weren't all the way in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So sad, so sad. Anybody else ever have a tent like fly up or a bounce house? I feel like it'd be more tense. I feel like tents would just like pick up that wind and just go.
I gave up on the tent.
Yeah,
I hated them so bad I gave them away.
they're a lot of work. I mean, I haven't done them myself, but I know my crew hates doing them. Like, there's not a single person on the team that's like, oh my God, I don't want to do the tent today.
Look,
No,
well,
they
you see
all
me over
hate it.
here, right?
I hate them.
He's like, get rid of them. No, but for tents though, like if you got like a smaller one, like a 10 by 20, Brandon, that's when you would use like the sandbags. But then those 20 by 20s, you got to use like 2 huge water barrels on each leg. So
On each leg?
2 on each leg. Yeah, so that way it holds it down all the way.
Wow.
Some states won't even let them use water barrels anymore.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
For
So
why?
just like the world's
I
biggest
don't know.
steak.
I'm telling them they got to have like these 36-inch steaks or something.
My God.
That or the Sully stones.
So then how would anyone set up on like pavement or anything like that?
They
Right?
stake them through the asphalt.
No, Sully stones. They use them as counterbalances, and you see them in front of propane and stuff. They got the concrete free-form blocks with a rebar sticking through them.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Yeah, those are
Interesting.
Who the heck delivers those things?
You can get them from Sunbelt, NES, different places.
Yeah, those things got to weigh a gazillion pounds.
3,600 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Gotta have a power dolly. I'm kidding.
Gotta make sure that they're set
Power
up.
dolly
He
not
wants that
touching it.
power dolly, y'all. He gonna get that power dolly. Next week he gonna have it watch.
His back's gonna be thanking him, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he can get back to work.
I'm ready to get back to work. I got 3
I
kids in the
know.
truck. I want to send them y'all's way.
I know. Nah, you just make them pack it up and you make them deliver it. You gotta get smart now. Use the kids. They
Oh
gonna
no,
use
this
you.
one's been doing it. This one's 11 and been doing them since she was 3 days old.
Hey.
You look for somebody to train your crew. I got an 11-year-old to do it with any manufacturer of any equipment you got out there. She'll tell them how to
There
do
you
it and do it right
go.
the first time.
I need a YouTube
I'm looking-
channel with all this. I'm subscribing. Let me know.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
You gotta see my 3-year-old roll it up.
I feel like I've seen grown people like lay on top of them and like hug them. They're like rolled. They're massive. Like I remember rolling. My first ever one, the only ever one I've ever rolled is like the obstacle course one. And when we stood it up, it was like as tall as me. It's like wow.
That's why I
They
try to shorten
heavy.
mine and fold it more than 2 or 3 times.
You got to fold that thing properly. 2 seams. 9 manufacturers of the 10 I used. You fold that inflatable 2 seams. You fold the other side 2 seams. And then you should have 2 seams in the middle.
Okay. Next time I go and do it, I'm gonna try that. 2 seams, 2 seams. All right. Good to know. Well, I'm moving on to the next story. This is an actual photo of a van, a cargo van that Tariq used in his early days. He said, yeah, I'm not sure how early. This is actually in front of Bounce My House, right? So yeah, this van caught on fire. Luckily, I asked Tariq multiple questions about this van. I'm like, excuse me, how? Right? So luckily they said everybody was safe. First of all, it was just 2 people right in the front. And it just literally randomly caught on fire driving on the way to a pickup. So like they were supposed to pick up a bounce house, right? And the van catches on fire.
What kind of van is that?
I honestly, I did not ask. I couldn't even. I cannot tell. It looks like
Should
a
have bought a Toyota.
I gotta make sure not to get that one.
some type of cargo van. Yeah, he said just caught on fire. Yeah, just again, luckily no one was hurt, but yeah, insane. I was like, wow, I've never seen something
It's
this.
probably a
Why it
Samsung.
caught on fire? Or what would happen?
This van just caught on fire as they were
How
driving
though?
to pick
Like,
up a delivery. They said it was just random,
no, that's crazy.
right?
Looking at the burn pattern, I'm going to say it was probably a fuel leak from the lines.
Yeah. Huh, crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was yeah, he said I asked so many questions about this. Yeah, he said everybody was good. Again, just on their way back. I'm like, what about the equipment? Like that's the second question. I'm like, was everybody okay? Yes. What about all the stuff? And he's like, no, we were going to pick up. He's like, but if not, they would have lost everything. That's what he said. He said it was like the whole back, all of it, yeah, just on fire. And I live in Arizona where it gets like 115 plus. I've only ever seen like one. Like, and it's been a semi.
Brandon, I'll be down there at the end of the month.
What part?
Chicago coming to take over. Phoenix.
Okay, I love. Okay, Phoenix is all right. I'm a Tucson guy. I have love for Tucson. But Chicago is all over Arizona. I know so many people who've come from the Chicago area to
No, we're
Tucson.
doing a takeover. We're doing a takeover where we're taking like 1,000 people down there to pack out the clubs.
That sounds like fun.
I'm gonna send you the invite.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, so where was my invite, girl?
Yeah.
Because
Come on, let's get on the plane, y'all. Let's go.
I
That's
literally
our meet
just
and
drove.
greet.
I just drove 25 hours home from Washington. Phoenix is just a 2-hour drive. That's nothing. It was fun.
What's
I had
up?
a great time. My family and I drove. We drove from Tucson to Kansas to Michigan, and then South Dakota, Washington, and back. It was a great summer road trip.
Does your wife work for the same company?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Amanda, he's here with Book. She's watching our son.
Yeah. Okay.
Here he comes. Here he comes. She heard her name. Ah. Hi, everybody.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Little man.
Hey, twin.
Yay, Event Hog
She
family.
looked better. She looked better, Brandon.
I know. I got lucky. Facts. All right, so I got one last story for y'all. Right, tent damage video. All right, I got it pulled up right here. So we got the barrels, we got the jugs. So Tariq said this is a setup for a 20 by 80 tent in a parking lot for an employee appreciation party. And they used the water barrels, which is a bad idea because it was an inexperienced crew. That's why. All right. So it rained a lot that night. And the water pooled on the top of the tent, probably due to not having enough tension. And he got a text at 6 a.m. the next day, 3 hours before the party, saying that their tent was on the ground. Now, he said by some miracle, they pulled it off and they literally, within the last like 3 minutes, were able to set up the new tent, right? But yeah, this was Tariq said not their finest hour, right? He said the crew was inexperienced and the tent was massive and they did not properly secure the legs, right? So you said 2 per leg, right, Zoel? That's what it should be.
yeah, I don't know if that's still the method that it looks like just from the video. That's what he was going with back then too. But yeah, 2 per leg.
Yeah, 2 per leg, and this video was.
Maybe that's why they outlawed them in some places.
It might be, and the tension wasn't tight enough, and then the water just added on top of it, and
Ate it down. Water way of life.
Mm-hmm. And I can just imagine like the only way to release that water, right? You gotta cut it. Right? You gotta let you gotta break a pole down, let the water like wash out. I don't know. He said a very costly mistake because I think he lost a 10.
Why would you
You
lose
said that one was
the
a
10?
20 by 40?
It's 20 by 80.
That's why we don't do those anymore.
But that had rain gutters in it too. That wasn't a solid 20 by 80. And you wouldn't lose the whole tent. You would have a mass of parts for other tents. Hopefully it wouldn't rip the top. It had rain
Right.
gutters in it. It's what's in between them, so they're separate tents. It's 220 by 40s probably.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
Huge
With
10.
the rain gutters, so yep.
Yeah. And yeah. Anybody have any more stories? That's all I got for the stories from Tariq. Yeah. Anybody else have anything else recently, not recently? What's their worst story or your worst customer something? Right? What did you, and most importantly, what did you learn from it? Like all of these, right? Like other than the cargo fire one, right? Tariq just got extremely lucky, right? And they couldn't fix, but yeah, emergency alert, flash flood warning in my area. Okay, stop now. Thank you. But yeah, anybody else have a story they'd like to share? Something bad that happened, maybe what they learned from it. I hope we've all learned from the story in these last couple days in Connecticut to if you have a inflatable, right, and there's high wind, don't set up, or yeah, first of all, don't set up, and then secondly, make sure you always stake them down, right? Make sure you use those stakes. Anybody else? Nobody? Drop it in the chat.
I'm just trying to think of like I guess 'cause obviously, like I said before, I don't go out in the field. I deal with the customers, but no, I can't think of anything like since I started in March. We really haven't had anything like other than the Penske, but we haven't had anything like super significant happen. We've had a couple like mishaps, but nothing like crazy. Would say like the worst is like when I'm on the phone with a customer for half an hour, 45 minutes because they just want to keep asking questions and so I'm trying to learn how to like, re-guide the conversation and get them to just okay, go look on the website for a little bit and call me back, text me back, whatever. But
Hey, do you have
that's
any of
kind
those
of
alien
it.
customers?
Say that again.
Do you have any of those alien customers? I have one that wants to spend an hour talking about aliens, and I can't get him to leave.
No
You're
way.
joking.
No way.
You're literally joking.
Yeah, like we've got a place you can actually go dig for diamonds down here, and he'll tell me about finding diamonds the size of a football and talk to me about aliens that he's seen and show me these videos. They're like so grainy and awful. It's ridiculous.
Goodness. No.
It's like, dude, I
But
got work to do. I gotta go.
I got money to make, sir.
That's a first.
That's
No,
crazy.
never heard that one. No, never.
No. No, I will say though, I have had customers sit there and like pour their heart out to me over the phone, like
Oh.
telling me some personal family
They
stuff
want
and
that
like
discount, girl. That was Robin. They want that discount.
You're probably not wrong, but though that's kind of like the worst it gets. But I've never had a customer sit there and talk about aliens and diamonds, and it's usually something related to the party in some context. We started here in the conversation, and now we're all the way over there somehow. So
I hate
those are
playing
fun
musical
though.
bounce house. Anybody play musical bounce house?
Musical
And if so,
bounce.
how do you deal with that? So like you set up a bounce house at a customer's house, and they might call you back later on in the day because you set up in the morning, and they're like, "Oh well, the sun's beating on it now over top, and we want you to move it, a little bit over to the right or a little bit over to the left," and that just gets really
Yeah,
annoying.
what?
Really
You
hate
went back?
that. Huh?
You went back? You went
No, because
back?
I mean, I'll argue with the customer forever about it, but I mean, they don't want to pay you to
Don't
come
argue,
back.
don't argue with them. You said we set it up and we set it up. If you want it in a different spot, we're gonna have to charge you a whole different fee.
Mm-hmm.
$150 moving fee.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That part.
We get into a lot of that where customers like want it removed because they said it's getting too hot or whatever from the sun around here. So, and then they don't understand when I want to charge more for to come back out there and do it. Or like we'll set up the bounce house exactly where they want it. This happened like 2 weeks ago. So we set up all the stuff where exactly they want it, like the tent, the bounce house. And so we get done setting it all up. And he's like, oh, I don't like where it's at. Can you move it over to this more flat ground? And that just drives me absolutely nuts because it takes forever to set up tents and sets. And it was a water slide too that we set up that day for him. And then another one, he wanted to set up a water slide where, it wasn't been a good idea. The ground was all soft. It would have got like super muddy there. So I set up where it was a little bit more hard, whatever. And he just didn't want it there. And I came back. So he ended up moving the water slide. We ended up moving the tent for him. It was just like we pack up, we get ready to leave. And as we're leaving, he's like, running after us. And he's just like, you have to move the tent now. We sat there and argued forever. And I just ended up moving it. But I don't know how to deal with some of that. Sometimes it just drives me crazy playing musical tents or musical bounce house.
Do you ever do like confirmation calls before their event? Like where you just make sure like they're prepared, you're prepared. And, like,
Yeah, I do all that. And like even before I set up, because I run into it so often, I'll get to the customer's house and I'm like, is this where you want it? And they're like, oh yeah, it's fine. It just I don't know. It just drives me.
The only thing that I could potentially think of,
I would have to start off with telling them, like, hey, if you want it, make sure, like, double check with your husband, check with your wife, because once I set up and stake it down, I am not moving it. You have to let them know before.
Double down.
Like
or start putting it in your contract.
Yeah.
It has to definitely be in the contract for sure. Yeah, that's kind of just standard in the industry, I believe.
And then charge to remove it, right? Put in the contract.
For sure. Right. Yeah. That has to be in the contract, and then at that point they can't fight with you. You can't go back and forth. I listen when they go back and forth with me on stuff, I just look at them and I said it's in the contract. I say it's in the contract.
Yeah,
but it's in the contract. Oh, but I didn't read. I'm sorry, that's not my fault. You signed it.
The best thing you can do is educate. Like you got to teach them.
Definitely
they're not going to know. And then when they start with that, you can do exactly what she's saying. Be like, nope, sorry, it's done. Or
I always let them know, like, listen, if this is where you want it.
Since he having a lot of problems with it, that's what you do. You mentioned it in the beginning.
Yeah, make sure that's like part of like the bounce house rules that like you go over. Like for example, me, I always go over bounce house rules before I leave. When I'm setting up, once I get there, I'm like, hey guys, hi, I'm here. Where do you guys want it? Oh, okay. I don't think that this spot would be very practical simply because it's a slope, and then we have a water slide, and then I actually just had this weekend. I rented out the water slide, and their whole place was like slopey. So I was like, okay, well, this is like the slightest slope here in this area, so let's just stick it right here. Yo, those kids were still flying down that slide. Like I have never seen kids hit that pad as on my arm, my shoulder, but they were having a blast, but I did tell them, I was like, hey, hold on, don't go head first. Like y'all didn't even let me leave before y'all hopped in, but at least I was good because I was able to see how they were sliding down the slide. And I went and I talked to the parents and I was like, hey, please, one by one, and nobody slide head first because, you don't want to he doesn't want to snap his neck or anything. And, but I would definitely say or suggest, like if it's a problem that you're having that often, when you get there, you let them know, like, hey, where do you want it? Okay, this is where you want it. Double check. Are you sure? Okay. Well,
I always usually try to ask the female. I will never talk to a guy. I always ask the female first. I'm like, oh, is your wife here? Because when I ask guys, that's when I get in the most problems. So.
Yeah, because listen, we're the ones that run shit, right? So
yeah.
Gotta ask the guys
don't think. We just think, oh, we can do it, we got this, and then
we'll
deal with the consequences later.
And then when wifey is over there, that's not where I said I wanted it. Then you gotta go with the tail between your legs, like, excuse me, sir, can you please move it? But that's why at that point you gotta double check with both parties. Okay, if it's a husband and wife, if it's a husband, wife, whatever, but check with both parties.
Check with the wife twice.
Once you get, double. Double tag, double confirmation.
I went through that with a couple, and they got into it over it. The husband put it in the grass. The wife I've been working
Well,
hard
at
on
that
this
point,
graph.
listen, we got 10 minutes to figure it out. Make a decision. Come on, because I got to keep moving. I got other stuff I got to do. I got other people to meet.
I thought it wasn't movable.
I just, like I
It's
said, I
not
went with
movable.
inflatable office
It's
too
not.
now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about like money. Before I was like going to the inner cities and like just like people would take forever. They'd be like, I'm waiting for my grandma, my grandpa to give me money, and it just drove me nuts. That's why I went with inflatable office. Like if people can't pay for it with a credit card, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more cash pickups because
That's what happened this year.
yeah, because like
I
money.
ain't gonna lie, y'all. I probably did like 15 events this year just because I don't want to.
That's why I just do 50% of the balance, whatever the balance is, 50%, and then the other 50% is due upon arrival. I do not take anything down. I don't nothing.
I didn't want to take stuff out of the vehicle sometimes because like I don't feel like setting up something and they're like, oh, we don't have money, or I gotta wait for Bob Giorgio to come and deliver the money, and I'm like, come on, you know?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't take anything down until it's paid for. That's just part of the policy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you like weird, or they just make you feel awkward when you're like asking for money, which is the worst. They should just have it for you. Like you're gonna forget that they have to pay for something.
You better not feel awkward. That's your money.
Yeah,
Go
don't.
get your money.
Listen, if it's your money, it's your money.
Yeah,
You're about to provide
That's your money. That ain't theirs no more.
It's not
they
no
use
more.
you.
Yeah, once they sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
Crazy around
Just
here sometimes.
got to be a little bit assertive sometimes.
Yeah,
and you're already there, and their children are excited.
Right. That's kind of the crappy part, because then you feel like the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the kids just are like, let's go. But definitely, I would definitely say add that somewhere into your contract. I would even say go over it before you even go to the place, like double check, like call them and just be like, listen, make sure you guys know exactly where you want it, because I will not move it. Like, and if you want me to move it, I'm gonna charge you. But I actually have a pretty horrific story to share. I was like, do I say this? I don't know. I think I should say it. Okay. So I actually brought it up. Brandon's so excited. I actually just brought it up the last time a little bit when I was mentioning that I had like a super hard time and it was dirty or whatever. And then the blower that I used was cracked a little bit, right? So I mentioned that last time. So I was like, always bring 2 blowers, right? What do you do? What do you never like? Wait, what can you not like forget? Sorry, I probably didn't word that right. But what is something you always need, right? Okay, so that whole ordeal, right? So I had this reservation for a princess castle type of like obstacle course type of thing. I don't know. It's like a little fun house. So I get there and already like the person who was supposed to help me deliver never showed up. Nice. So I sat here waiting for an hour. Okay. And I was like, okay, we got to go. Because I always try to give myself between 2 to 3 hour time frame in case any BS happens. I have time to make up for it, because I have to think about, okay, I still have to drive there. I got to do the setup. I got to, all of that. So I need the time for that. And I don't want to be there when the people are already like arriving or leaving, barely leaving, right. When people are arriving. Like I want it set up so that when people get there to their event, they're like, wow, and everything's nice and pretty. So I delivered, and as I am like opening up, because I finally was able to find like some friends who came to help me, and it was a couple, right? And they both came to help me. Probably the skinniest people. Huh?
Some great friends right there.
Yeah, very great friends. Very, very, for sure. And it was really last minute, but it kind of sucks because I couldn't have chosen the skinniest couple ever. I couldn't have. So I'm sitting there struggling with them, and they're like, oh my God, you do this every time. I'm like, yeah. So, we finally get it out and we start unfolding it, and I'm like, why are there dots on the pillars? There's black dots on the pillars. I'm like, what's going on? And maybe it got a little dirty. So I'm like, okay, let's just keep unrolling it, right? So we're halfway. I have finally like unrolled everything, unfolded it. And as I'm unfolding, I'm like, oh, it's not just on the pillars. Oh my God. Why is it on the whole freaking outer surface? What is this? So I start to really look because at this point I'm like half blind. I think I rubbed my eye too hard and I had like one contact in. I didn't have another contact in, so I was half blind legitimately. And I'm like, what is this? So I get real close and I'm like, oh, it's freaking mold.
Oh no.
I am literally at this party about to inflate this MF. Okay. Sorry, my son's here. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. But I'm like, holy crap, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, maybe I can just wipe it off and maybe it's just on the outer side. Because luckily, like the spray that I have, luckily I had another spray. So I had the regular like wipe down sanitizing spray that I always use, and then I had what is it? It's like a mold and mildew one that I carry just in case, like for any emergencies. Which I'm glad I freaking had it because I'm sorry.
I said I usually have like some kind of bleach, like the bleach
Yeah,
stuff.
and
That works really good for mold.
yes, but the reason I don't too much like to get stuff bleach, like just pure bleach, simply because it first of all it takes a really long time to really get out. And if I'm on like if I'm having to do something like on the spot, I don't have the time to really clean it off. And then I don't want it to stay on and like damage the the vinyl. So I'm like I'm really iffy with it. But I have learned, I've realized that it actually is pretty handy to have something at least that has some sort of Clorox or like bleach, whatever. So luckily I did find this Armor something type of brand that does have a little bit, and we ended up wiping some of it down. Kid you not, I have these like blue like car detail rags that I use, the microfiber ones. It was black. By the time that I was done with one pillar, it was black. So then that's when I was like, I can't do this whole thing in front of these people. I'm like, I have an hour and a half left before their party starts. What do I do right now? So then I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe we can just really, really like double time and clean it on the outside. But then I started thinking, wait, is it on the inside? Is it also on the inside? So I start opening it up. I open up the entrance, and at that point, that's when I decided I need to fold this bitch back up. So I just folded it in half. I walked over to the lady. I was like, listen, it didn't get cleaned last time. For whatever reason, someone put the wrong color strap on here, and I totally lied to the customer, like totally freaking lied to the customer. But I wasn't gonna tell the customer, hey, there's mold in my bounce house.
You got to.
So no, yeah, I lied. I was like, I can't tell her that.
Play the game.
And so yeah, so I lied to her, and I was like, listen, the people who used it previously, it was at a like real far out in Georgia where the red clay is, and it's stained a little bit. So I was like, I don't want your customers' children's to get like their clothing stained and stuff, because the red clay is really hard to get out. So I was like, I'm gonna have to like take some bleach to it and whatever. So she was like, well, maybe we can help you clean it. Like she really wanted, oh my God, she really, really wanted this princess bounce house for her daughter. So I felt horrible because I see baby girls there like super excited for it, asking her mom, when are they going to finish? When are they going to finish? And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, man. So I ended up having to explain to her, I was like, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't. It's too dirty. I don't feel comfortable leaving this here, and my biggest priority is your children's safety. So I listen, I don't know if there's what's in there. I was like, I don't know what's in there. Apparently they didn't clean it from the last one. So for all I know, there could be bugs, there could be leftover food, there could be, I don't know. We don't want them grabbing candy that's like loose and unwrapped and putting it in their mouth. You just never know. So for my peace of mind, I would much rather offer you guys a different unit. So let me show you guys the others that I have available for today. I understand that she has a princess theme. So the best thing that I can do is I can find something that's similar, but I don't have a princess, specifically like a princess banner. But I did tell her, I was like, I have Moana, I have like My Little Pony, there's Mickey Mouse, like there's a couple of other ones, that you can kind of play off with the princess stuff. They ended up sticking with the Moana, and they ended up like being like, okay, that's fine. I had to, and I still discounted them $25. And I still had to do double the work. And the second time that I went to deliver, right, when I went to deliver the other one, the replacement one, I ended up having to do that one by myself, because by that point, my friends were like, we gotta go. I think I scared them off.
Don't feel bad about doing it by yourself. I do it a lot by myself. Sometimes my kids be
Listen,
in the
I kid
house,
you
and
not.
I
I
just go
remember
do
you
it.
every time I feel like giving up, because I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
There
So I'm
was
like, hold
times
on.
that I
I see
cried. I
Robin over there,
mean,
doing her thing. Yeah.
my first year, I cried a lot doing them bouncy houses. And imagine the second year, I was pregnant.
Oof.
I never told y'all that I was pregnant, and I had to do it alone. Like, but it's either that or just give up.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. And I don't want to give up. So I definitely, I made a video because I ended up having to clean the bounce house. And the whole reason that bounce house even got how it was is because it stayed a few weeks in storage. My dad decided to move it without my permission. And, we kind of got into an argument over that. I was like, you don't touch my stuff, because first of all, you don't know how to handle it. Secondly, you're closer to 60 than you are to like 20. So you're not even supposed to be doing that right now. Like, and
Don't
on
be
top
doing
of
pops. I'm
everything,
gonna take up for pops right now.
no. But here's the thing. He's already sick. He has cancer. He's been doing all kinds of, just his health, regarding his health. I'm like, you should not be doing this. So, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna move it. And he moved it and didn't tell me that he put it right next to where all of the dirt is in the storage that's downstairs, because it's halfway done. Not even a completed storage. So I'm like, you put it on the concrete side, with one side on the concrete and the other end literally on the dirt. Dirt holds moisture. The basement is not complete. So that whole other side is completely like moist. It's dirt. It's like, that it just earth. My guy, come on, earth. So I was like, that whole, he's like, well, it was wet. I'm like, it wasn't wet, because I always clean and dry my stuff. And plus, at the end of the day, when I did rent it out last, it didn't even rain. It was hot as hell. So I'm like, it wasn't wet. Like, that happened because of the moisture that was in that storage room. Like, I cannot stress this enough. I don't want you moving my things. I understand that you guys want, the garage space back and whatever, but I'm working towards that. Like, I'm trying my hardest to save up. I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do? Do I just get a trailer? Do I just get a storage unit? Do I just buy a storage unit? Like, what do I do? But it's not going to be from one day to the next. And it's probably not going to be from 1 month to the next. But, if you work with me, like,
Well,
I'll help you guys stay.
what I do is I got a storage unit. So every other event I do, I put $100 down on my storage unit. That way, over the wintertime, it won't be so much, and it don't look like you're struggling to pay
Yes,
that
because
storage
they're not
bill.
getting as much traffic. That's been why I am so iffy with getting a storage. That's been the biggest reason, because I'm like, let's just say I have off seasons, or let's just say I go 2 weekends without any rentals. It's happened. So 2-3 weekends, like, it's happened, and I'm like, what if? Like, all these what ifs, it's like, it's too many what ifs for me to just make a decision on like a pressured
You don't
decision,
offer like
really,
face
really.
painting or balloons or characters or anything like that?
I'm sorry?
You don't offer like face painting, balloons, characters?
So I make custom piñatas. I make custom decor. I do balloon garlands, backdrops. I don't offer face painting or like children entertainment as far as costumes. I have had people who have asked for both. So I'm tempted to
Yeah,
kind of maybe network
think
with
about
somebody
doing
at
it
least.
because it really pays off. At least in my area, it does. We do lots of characters, lots of balloons, and lots of face painting.
I was thinking about maybe YouTubing how to do some face painting. That's something that I was
And so
thinking
you don't
about
even
for
need to know
sure.
how to do face painting. You're a girl. you could just do glitter tattoos. I do a lot of glitter tattoos, and the people are pretty amazed. You
Yeah,
can buy like the
the
tattoos
temporary tattoos.
Oh,
off of
you're
Amazon.
right.
You get like a 30 bucks, you get like 100 designs, and it gives you like a band of all the designs. And then you could just do the glitter with a little like paint and a sponge. I usually just put some paint on it, and then I'll put some glitter on it, and the clients absolutely like love it. And like,
And then I've seen people use stencils too, right?
yeah, that's what I do. I just do
That's
stencils.
what you're talking about. Oh,
So, and you can just add to the stencil. So if there's like a sun, you could add like lights, you can add ocean. There's like, you just kind of exaggerate it, like make it look a little bit better with different stencils. So I
right.
put together like different stuff
Like
with
throw
the
some
stencils.
flair in it, pretty much.
Yeah. So just try to pop it, make it look a little bit better. So it doesn't look like you're just applying the stencil and that's it. So I mean, it's pretty easy though. It's not too bad. I mean, and I charge 150 an hour for it. So
Okay, see, and that's what I was gonna say. Let me pick your brain. How much would you charge for that? Okay,
I would
so
charge
150 an hour. That's
300.
not
I would do
bad.
like 2 hours. And then if you got cotton candy, you can add cotton candy. You can go to the dollar
I do.
store.
I have cotton candy, snow machines. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could do cotton candy, snow cone, put together yourself a little package for like 350, with like I don't know, maybe cotton candy and that. People love when girls come over and do that kind of stuff. I got a couple girls that work for me and they just love it because it's like they got a babysitter and usually the kids are all over them for the hour or whatever. So
exactly. Yep. I just did my son's birthday this weekend. I had his party on Sunday. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, listen, these kids are going to get tired of the bounce house. It's really hot. So I got to figure out what else I can do where they can just kind of cool off a little bit. Where'd your bouncy ball go?
And if you get airbrush tattoos, if you buy an airbrush, don't buy like the individual guns. Get the 0G. You could just swap out cartridges, and it's real easy. Really no like cleanup, and like you're not going to spend.
What is it called? Hold on, let me write this in my notes.
It's called the 0G.
0G?
Yeah. And then all you do is just put the cartridges on top. It runs a little bit expensive for your first time when you buy it. It's probably like the whole system, maybe $600-700. But you don't need all the stencils from them or anything. There's a company that sells it. If you message me later, something in the system, I can track down the other company that I get my stuff from. But yeah, I mean,
yes,
you can get like a bunch of different colors, and it just sprays on. It's real easy.
Okay, I'll definitely message you later.
Yeah.
More. Okay.
Yeah, and you can look at my website, Buffalo. I'm out of Buffalo, BuffaloPartyDeals.com. And I would just click on like the hot deal page, and you could see some stuff that I do in like the off season, and it really has helped out. So I'm always trying to come up with like different ideas. Yeah. So
okay, where are you located, Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Where are you located?
We're in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Metro Atlanta, outskirts of it.
So it snows there.
Getting you
it does like around February, if we're lucky. I think this past year didn't snow. We get snow like once every 4 years.
Bounce houses out? Is that like what's going on that you're not always renting bounce houses then?
So the issue why I'm not renting bounce houses all the time is because there's so many backyard people that like literally just work from their house, and they'll come up on a decent bounce house on Facebook Marketplace, and they're like, oh, hey, rent me out for $100 a day. So it's like, I'm not going to compete with that.
Right.
Like, I'm not literally, once I started, it's like, I don't know if women, well, I know probably more of the women will understand this, but when you're pregnant, doesn't it seem like everybody all of a sudden is pregnant? Or guys, when you buy a new car or like a new truck, and you start noticing like, dang, everybody got this truck, everybody got this car. It was kind of the same thing. Like I started with a business, and I'm like, holy crap, everybody is doing this right now. Like everybody's trying to hop onto this because they think that it's easy side hustle money. Like, but once they really start doing it, they're like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. I'm sorry?
I said, when you don't play by the rules, it is. I mean,
it is.
We got people doing that, and they're not licensed.
They're not licensed. They're not insured. Yep.
In Arkansas, you got to have $1 million per occurrence, and these jokers ain't got none.
Oof. Yeah, no. See, and I hate bad mouthing other people, but sometimes like it's the only play that I can and that I have to get a reservation. They'll be like, well, somebody said they'll rent me out a tent for $198. And I'm like, a 20 by 30 tent for $198? That's not even what? Like what?
That's a Temu special.
People special. Thank you. I'm like, yo, like I already feel like I'm charging low for mine. Like I charge like I just raised it up actually. I was charging $285 and now I'm like I'm gonna charge $345 because it's just heavy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
somebody,
That's
I had
right.
that happen today on Event Hawk. Somebody messaged me through the system there. They wanted a water slide. I gave them my price, and they're like, "Oh, I can get a 19-foot water slide for $250." I get so mad. I'm like, "Why the hell is this guy messaging me? Me? Like, what's he think? I'm gonna go lower than
Bye,
200?"
Zoel. Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
crazy. So
Please,
I
Zoel.
And you guys didn't hear this from me, but if you go on Facebook and they're advertising rentals, you can report that as pushing a business, and Facebook will take them down.
he said sabotage the
Did not hear that from Lane. No one heard that.
We don't.
okay?
We don't even know him. We don't even know him.
I can't. That was hilarious.
But I mean, it's
Oh,
true
man.
because you got to think about this with them not having insurance and stuff. They're putting the kids in danger.
At risk a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Because what happens if they get
Well,
hurt? They're
nope,
just stuck.
nope. Because when I first started,
I mean,
I
if there's
wasn't
a waiver
insured,
in
but I
place,
made sure my contract. I made sure
included
my
that, yeah.
contract was like how Home Depot is. When you go, you're responsible. If you rent, you're responsible. When you let your
Yeah,
kids in there,
yeah,
you're responsible. I
yeah.
am not responsible once after I set this up, unless this bouncy house
And
flip
leave
over.
this fucking site. That's not my responsibility. Them your kids.
And you know what? Like, I don't care about the guys that are legit that are out there doing it. It's the guys that are doing it. They got one house. Like, I have to rent a house 16 times just to pay for my insurance. Like,
right?
that's crazy that these guys are just out there pocketing the money, no business license, no nothing.
And a lot of people
You're
get away
welcome,
with
Ken.
doing that for years. That's the crazy thing. Come on.
Getting lucky,
You have to
right?
go pee-pee?
Getting lucky, nothing happens.
Yeah, no, yeah, but you know, I definitely I learned my lesson as far as where to store or where not to store my units.
I never even thought of that. That's crazy. Because like in Arizona, everything is dry. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our problem here is things just dry up, right? Because it's just so hot.
Or like dry rot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I've never even thought of like, keeping it like with moisture and it getting, oh wow. That's good to know.
I mean, like obviously I knew that don't roll it up wet, or if you do, make sure you take it out later that day or tomorrow and put it in the sun so that it can dry up, but since I knew that that it was dry, like I didn't think of like, oh, it's moist in there and it's gonna no, I did not think about that at all. I didn't even know that was like a possibility, but now I do. So I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, Dad, you need to come help me clean this right now because this is your fault. Nope. That man came here at 8:00 at night to help me talk about, let's just pressure wash it. I'm like, dude, this is printed on. Like, you're already not really supposed to use a pressure washer on vinyl. Some people do, but I don't want to.
I use mine.
Well, mine is
my pressure washer.
The thing is the pressure washer that they have, because my dad has owned a used car dealership previously for like a decade, and when COVID hit,
they got that pressure.
Yeah, he got that pressure, girl. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
mine will take your toes off.
I accidentally cut my toe with that
Yeah.
freaking pressure washer one time. That's why I'm like, no, if it cut my skin, I'm scared of what it'll do to a net or the sewing, like the seams and stuff. Like, I don't want, because then if God forbid, if anything happens, he's not going to pay for it.
I got the hand one and I spray it down with the Zep first, and then I spray it down with the water.
So have you used Zep on your stuff? Because I tried that one time and I got it on my shirt beforehand and it smelled like so much bleach. I was scared to use it.
It is. It is.
What stuff is, what is it called?
A lot of bleach.
Zep?
Zep.
I was gonna ask you about Zep because I've tried. Okay, so when I was cleaning this bounce house, I tried using Zep. It did not work. The only one that worked damn near instantly. Where's the bottle? It's It's a green bottle. You'll find it right around the same area that the Zep is at. And let me see.
But
I
Dollar
think
Tree,
it's,
Dollar Tree got a mold and mildew spray too that works very good.
let me see if I can find here so I can show it to you guys. It's like a,
Now there's like Zep mold and mildew, and then there's Zep all purpose too. There's different ones.
and I used both. So I purchased the all purpose. So then I was like, oh, it's not working. So I went ahead and I grabbed the mold and mildew one because, like I said, I was trying to stay away from like the bleach, but I was like, okay, I need it. I really need it. So I went ahead and I grabbed the Zep one, and it didn't do it for me. Like I was like, you're not working fast enough. So I grabbed here, let me pull it actually. It is called mold mildew.
I looked it up, the Zep.
Mold armor. Is that what it's called? No, that's not what it's called. Yes. Mold armor.
Have
mold and
anybody
mildew
ever
killer
tried
and
the
quick stain remover.
MVP?
MVP.
Anybody ever tried the PVC inflatable
That one, no.
cleaner?
Man, I spent a while researching this stuff, and everybody said that bleach would mess them up. So I ended up using cleaning vinegar and water
Don't
and
listen to
Dawn, and it works
everybody.
great.
Don't listen to everybody. I've been using bleach
Exactly.
from
I
the
was
first
gonna say,
beginning.
listen, I did the same thing. I
It's a
listened
way
to
that you
everybody
have to
at
use
first.
it though.
Yeah, I think it honestly, I think it depends where you're at. I think environment has something to play with it as well, because I've actually noticed there have been people like that are pretty remote to each other who kind of say the same thing. So I almost wonder if maybe the weather has anything to do with how it reacts on vinyl. But here, I'm sending in the chat the picture of the one that I use. And when I tell you
I
this
don't
thing
think you
works
can let it sit on it.
instantly. I'm sorry?
I don't think you can let it sit on it. You have to spray and wipe. Spray and wipe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think people mistake that. But I have what I do is I'll wet my rag and then I'll spray it on the rag. Like I won't spray directly on the thing. Now, when I had to clean that Princess Bounce house, oh, you best believe I was smothering it. But because I knew that after I was done scrubbing, I was gonna just completely like soak it off, and then let it dry. So at that point, yeah, I didn't care to spray it directly on there. But typically I would just spray on the rag and then clean it that way. So I'll have the wet one with the Clorox a little bit, which would be a little diluted because it's really, really strong. Like I kid you not, I when I spray it, I have to watch like what clothing I'm wearing because it will bleach my clothes instantly. So
Yeah, that's what the
I
Zep did to
diluted
mine.
it. Huh?
I said that's what the Zep did to mine. It's like I spilled it open in the lid, and I looked down, and my shirt was already white, and I was like, I don't know that I want to use this stuff because I'd never used it, and I'd heard so much bad stuff about bleach, so I backed out. And I'm glad I didn't because I was not like doing little bit; I was doing the whole thing, and I soaked it. And so we used cleaning vinegar and water and Dawn, and it worked really good. But it
Yeah,
was
I've used that
for
mix too.
hours.
It does work well.
I just looked up another one. Has anybody ever used this one? I'm sharing my screen. It's El Gran Brink. It's literally.
I've heard of that one.
And then I love one of the photos. It's just it's inside the house.
Is there anything that
Is
gives
this
the
the guy
vinyl
that's in
shine back?
California?
I don't know.
Is he in California? Because I feel like I follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, to be look at that number.
Oh, right. Yes. So I think I follow him on TikTok. I've actually been tempted to buy that because
I'm mad at another group because they was trying to put my event people down, and I don't like that. When I like somebody, I like them, and I say enough for them, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that'll give the vinyl its shine back?
I'm curious for that too. So I'm all ears. My boyfriend, he has been using, so like I said, we're car people as well. So he's a NASCAR alumni, NASCAR Institute alumni. So he does just about anything and everything cars, down from like body, paint, mechanics, services, everything, right? So he has, and details. So he has a lot of detailing equipment. So he has this vinyl like lotion or conditioner or something like that he uses for the, like, the fake leather and the vinyls that are in the vehicles. And he has actually used it on my bounce houses, and it works.
Does it make it slippery?
Sorry?
Does it make it slippery?
It does. It makes it shiny. It makes it slippery. The only thing that I only reason I haven't been like, super on board with just sticking with that is because it's such a small bottle. Obviously, it's the purpose is for something else. But I've noticed, being in this industry, I've actually noticed a lot of times things will be purposed for something. So simply because it's purposed for that, it's priced a whole lot higher. But you can actually find something else that's purposed for something else, but essentially it's the exact same thing. But simply because they put the name and the purpose for so and so thing, and it's a cheaper price. So it's like, oh,
Now that
okay, I
you
can
said
kind of do
that,
this instead.
that reminds me, I used to work at AutoZone, and we had one brand there called Lexol, and that stuff was amazing for leather or vinyl. So I'm going to go grab some of that and try it. Like, I'm going to see what
And
happens.
try it out. I would try it probably in the backside first and just kind of see how it works out. And then if you like it, go ahead and really, really try it out.
So apparently, I bought one of these used, and apparently somebody tried to clean it with something pretty rough, and it took the color out of a spot. Is there any way to put color back in that anybody knows of?
There's
Dye
a
it or
paint.
I
whatever?
think it's a vinyl paint. I think it's
that's
something called vinyl paint.
Amazon, dude. They have like the whole kit. Go on Amazon.
Okay.
I guess honestly, wait. I would do your research first on quality, because you don't want to paint it and then it ends up like peeling off after like 2 rentals. So I would definitely do some research on it first, or heck, even just order it and try it on a spot and see how it works out.
I would think you would have to do it how they are doing, like the creative thing. So like how they put the paint over and then put that I forgot the name of it, the clear coat.
Mm-hmm.
You design stuff, so you know what I'm talking about. The clear coat over it to seal it.
Mm-hmm. That's what my boyfriend was telling me to try out too. He was like, you can always try this and then just seal it, with the vinyl thing. And I'm like, yeah, but what if it reacts? Because and this is just me based off of what I've learned when he does paint cars. Paint reacts to different type of paint. It reacts badly. It can start like orange peeling a little bit, when like the orange starts to get really wrinkly, and then it starts to kind of look like really burnt vinyl type of thing, and it gets all scrunchy and stuff. So
that usually
I'm like,
happens when the solvent inside has not fully cured and the solvent outside.
Yes. So that's why I'm like, okay, maybe what if, because it's different type of paint, what if that wouldn't really react well with the clear that I was thinking of using? But I just haven't had the courage to do it because I'm like, I don't want to ruin my pieces. But I am tempted, because there's one that I have, the one of the pillars on the inside, which is wild because it's like the inside doesn't get hit with the sun, but the interior is actually more faded than the outside of it. So I'm like, I don't like this. I gotta actually take
So can I get a favor from you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
I need help designing my website. I never had a website.
I did mine with Z, and I'm making payments on it. I actually need to make a payment hopefully next week, because I like I said, I have my off weeks. So This weekend I only had one rental, and she actually paid me ahead of time, so I didn't even have any like money coming in this weekend. It was just the delivery itself. But I asked them, I was like, can you guys give me like a week or so? Because I actually have one that's on the 17th,
So
which
I'll
I'm
tell you
supposed to
this.
get paid for.
When it comes to websites, like I come from an IT background and I've got several businesses that I've started. And when I first started, I was so broke, I had to borrow money just to do the jobs. And so when I built my website, I taught myself to code, I built it from the ground up, and it is not something you want to do on your own. Like
Yeah,
I already know.
I'm not joking. Like I'm real comfortable with IT stuff, and it took me probably a year to learn enough HTML and CSS to make it look decent. Then I got this whole thing up and going, and I realized I have no back end. You have to learn a whole nother language. You'll have to learn PHP or something to get your back end working.
That is so right. It is actually a whole other language, because my
Yeah.
boyfriend was doing coding, and when I first met him, that's what he was into, because he was like, maybe I'll take a break from the car industry, learn a new skill set, get some more income going if I can learn it right. Bro, holy crap.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Per what's it called? Per course, $500 per course, and the courses were only like 4 weeks long. And then all the time that like you have to put in with the practicing and everything. He had showed me, and I was like, I don't understand any of that. I'm like, what's with all the colors? Why is it so
On top of
colorful?
all that, you've got meta tags that exist in the background for each type of social media that you would have to keep updated. You're going to have to keep your SEO updated. Like it's really not worth it. This time around, I just decided to forget it. I threw it to the wind and I went to ERS and I was like, hey, I need you guys to do this because they help you promote the stuff and they'll build the site and manage it for you. And you don't really need much experience at all. And there's still a huge learning curve even using their stuff. So if you're going to do a site, unless you just want it to be a page in the wind, like from the 90s, like where it just is there, nobody's really going to it unless you tell them to go to it, I would totally look into using somebody else to do that. It's worth paying for it.
Okay, how much do that range?
It's like 120 to 150 depending on what plan you want, and you can get it cheaper in some places. You just kind of have to shop around. But like I said, that's the place that I'm using, and they offer more than just the website. They do your processing and all that stuff too.
You didn't end up using Event Hawk to do all your stuff?
Do what?
You didn't use
Of course,
Event
I'm
Hawk to
trying
do
to
all
get
your
on the
stuff?
team. I'm trying to get on their team. They don't want to call me.
Oh, why? Like, I will call you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. sharp, right when I get in. Not a problem.
Don't feel bad. I get up at 6.
What all do y'all offer at Event Hawk? I mean, let's go ahead and let you get your plug in. What all do y'all have? Because I know y'all do like the bookings and stuff, but what else do y'all do?
So we offer pretty much the same thing as ERS, right? We work with inflatable office instead of ERS. So
okay.
Yeah, so we build our websites through IO, and we have an entire website team. And our head website designer Ziana, she is incredible. She builds you can build you a custom website, and then I know we have template websites as well, so it'll just get you started. Right, they're super basic and simple. Right, and then or you can pay and you can get a custom website, and you can fully customize it how you like. We get people from ERS all the time, and we transfer their data over.
That's what I did. I got the custom one.
Yeah. And we again, there's different website types. So we got the free ones, the custom which are like super simple basic, right? Then you have your custom one. And yeah, it's really up to y'all. Which basically what you need, right? Like what you can afford at the time. We offer payment plans, of course, all of it. And with it comes the booking software of IO, which is integrated with Event Hawk.
Event Hawk, yeah. Like I've actually, because especially when we did that challenge, because I don't know how many people on here right now joined the booking challenge this year, but I joined it, right? And Tariq has been pretty much like the way I feel like it's kind of like listen, we're gonna tell you what to do and kind of set you up, but you got to do the work. So I'm like, okay, I like this because you're kind of giving me insight on things that I didn't really think about before. So for example, we did this challenge which was a competitor analysis, And essentially he had a template and was like, hey, look up 10 of your competitors in your area, compare, he had on his template, he had like bounce house, combos, 15-foot slide, 18-foot slide, so on and so forth, and then tents, right? So obviously if you don't offer 18-foot slides, then you would want to search for something that you do offer. So for me, I switched it up and I was like, I don't do those. I have concessions, I have tables and chairs, and I have tents, and I don't have those sizes. So let me change those sizes actually. And then I'll kind of look up and see who has the sizes that I have and what do they price it at. So I actually found out that I am one of the only people in this area who offers a 20 by 32 tent. People will offer 20 by 30s or 20 by 40s, but oftentimes they'll be like, oh, well, 20 by 40 is too big, or I don't have that much space. Okay, well, I have a 29 by 21, which is rounded versus it being elongated. So you can actually put it in a smaller area, but still essentially have the same amount of space as a 20 by 32. Because if you think about it, if it's 29 by 21, 1 foot is just on the other end. It's like, it's pretty much the same thing, it's just rounded out. It is more of like a lightweight to medium, well, not lightweight, but like light duty to medium duty, that one. So that's why I don't charge as much for that one. But the 20 by 32 is definitely on the heavier side. That one's a heavy duty because that one's the what is it called, galvanized steel or whatever. So I charge way more for that one now, especially after looking at the analysis, because come to find out, people for that one, for 20 by 30, they're charging $400 to $500. Oh, wow. So I'm like, I have mine at $285. That's kicking myself in the butt.
Yeah,
for no reason.
So Brandon,
raise those prices a little bit.
I sure did. After that analysis, I was like, okay, everything else I have priced pretty well. Actually, I'm pretty in the middle, if not even more competitive, because I'm slightly lower. But I definitely did like the idea that was given to us. I forgot who it was. I think it might have been Tariq who said it. But like, if someone's charging $250, you put yours at $249.99, or $248 or whatever. Those $2, like, who's gonna want to pay a full $250 when you can get it for $2 cheaper? Right. So that I did do that. That's something that I was like, okay, I like that little tactic. That's nice. I'll add that. But as far as everything else, I was like, okay, this is actually I see what they're doing. I like it.
Hey, so Brandon, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that a lot of people come to Event Hawk from ERS. What's the biggest reason that you hear, what's the reason behind that? Like most of your customers that transfer over?
They don't own their website.
You don't own your website.
Yeah. I like that one.
Right. So with ERS, they own your website, and so releasing it it's fun. And then when you come to IO Inflatable Office, you own your website. Whether you can once we build your website, it's yours forever, right? Like you just have to maintain it. You have to pay for like the domain and all that, but it's yours, right? Like we don't hold it. It's all you.
Yeah. I noticed that. Like if I decide to leave ERS, I leave my website behind.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
As far as like cost, I mean, do you hear, is it comparable or?
What would you say, Amanda? Amanda is she does a lot of marketing calls and sales calls. She actually knows a lot about this. What would you say?
Oh my goodness, baby, hi.
It depends on your number of unique items. So it is the most competitive for 10 or less items. It's $39 a month, and that comes with your free website template. So which is convertible if you optimize it. So you can optimize a template website for free and get away with it and be fine. If you go up 35 or less, which is probably a lot of people in the group, then you're looking at, I want to say it's $124. You don't quote me on that, but $124 a month for inflatable office, which I think is maybe about the same, maybe a little bit less.
And they give you 3 months free inflatable office.
Yeah, when you sign up through Event Hawk, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, with our
But again, it's really, ERS doesn't necessarily have terrible websites. Like if you've got an ERS website, it's still something that converts. You just want to make sure that it's optimized. And so like the website team specifically is like the ERS templates are not super terrible or anything. It's just the fact that you have to use their payment processor. And
right. Yeah, and that's expensive.
it is. Yep.
So wait, so then if I wanted to, like,
So,
in the future, if I decided to just be like, oh, whatever, I don't want to be here anymore with you guys. You know, if I decide like, oh, I want to go somewhere else. Wait, so then I could carry my website. I'm not going to, but it's just curiosity, you know? Because I'm telling you, for me,
I think that's what you mean by you own your own website, right? So you just bring it with you wherever you go. So also, like I mean, obviously you have the same features such as like running payments, holding deposits, and things like that, right?
Yes, it's actually better. It's more flexible when it comes to customizing your inflatable office, like automations especially, and it pairs with EventHawk, which does a lot of your automated texting. You can also build a lot of your own custom automation. So we do have people who build their own based on their clientele. So there are certain things, especially with templates, where you get the same question 8 million times. So it is always getting the, well, what if we want to move it? Then I would make a template that literally just says,
we're not moving.
We're not moving it.
But Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Like, we're not fucking moving.
Yeah.
One more question.
Okay, that sounds good.
So
thank you guys. Thanks for answering those questions.
Yeah.
I got a photo booth too. So will I be able to add my photo booth on with the website?
They don't even finish answering.
You can add all of that. You can add your own inventory.
I got a question.
Okay.
Keep them coming.
Hey, I just wanted to give y'all a heads up. If y'all didn't have chat open, the bouncer guy listed some stuff in there. The 303, that looks like it'd be great for the shine that we were talking about.
Yeah, the aerospace protectant. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fernando. It's awesome.
Yes.
Actually, I just want to say I've been sort of listening in, and Ray and Lane and Rosaly and everybody who's on here. Thank you so much for sharing. This is really great information and it's really helpful to the community. So thank you so much for doing that.
Yes, thank you guys for even having a space for us to do this.
Absolutely.
I'm still waiting on my question. I still we got one more question. I'm anxious.
Oh yeah.
Please, ma'am, the floor is yours.
Come on, baby.
Who, me?
Yes, ma'am. You said you had one more question.
Oh, I was asking about the website. If I did the website, would I be able to put my selfie booth on there? And someone told me, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and the coolest part, I love inflatable office and EventHawk because you can build automations to upsell automatically. So like if someone rents a bounce house, we have an automation that will send them a text message that it'll say, hey, your event's coming up. Do you need tables, chairs? And you can add a photo booth, right? And then, so and it'll do it automatically. That is an automation that we can turn on and build for you. So that's why we like inflatable office.
Well, and that's a good note also. So Tariq says specifically not to upsell when you're trying to get your initial booking.
Yep.
You want it as a follow-up because the fewer questions.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
Exactly. The fewer questions you have at the beginning, the better, but you can add that later on. And that's why that automation is so great, is because it's like, oh, I forgot about tables and chairs, and it's right before the event.
Exactly.
So it's really,
I have had people who the day before will call me and they'll be like, oh, we totally forgot about tables and chairs, or we totally forgot about a tent. It's going to be hot or it's going to rain. Da, da, da. And then at that point, I'm like, well, you should have told me before. But because it's happened now, I actually, what I'll do for the people, because I have last minute reservations, but for the people who do reserve ahead of time, I will follow up 3 or 4 days after and be like, hey, just want to confirm, is this everything that you need? Because we're getting the schedules ready, this, that, and the third. We offer this, that. Is there anything you might be interested in? And I can help with like a bundle deal or something, you know?
Rosaly hustles.
Yeah, about to
She
say,
hustles.
we have an automation that does that, Rosalie.
Yep.
If you want it. Now you
I do it myself. Yes, I do. People like it more. I'm like,
True.
you know, I'll reach out personally. I talk to them personally, and they love it. They love it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's what gets
Oh
you
my
the
goodness,
5-star
Spider-Man
review.
has. Yes, that's what. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And I luckily, as of now, I have not had a single person who does not tell me, "Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Thank you so much for being patient. Thank you for being so informative. Thank you for the like." And that makes me feel so good because I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it right. But yeah, like you know, I posted in the booking thing whenever he had asked for the video, what you're more excited about. For me, in all honesty, my biggest like appreciation with you guys is just having the support, because for me having, you know, started this thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have my family support, they're gonna help me, they're gonna whatever, and then now that I'm actually like up and running and I'm getting out there, like I'm getting more like publicity, you know, I'm like, I need more people. Like, this is not the time for you guys to back away from me. What is going on? But you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, my son sees me out here and he's like, I want to go work with mommy. I want to go work with mommy. And I'll take him with me on those hot ass days. Like, come on, baby, you're going to help me wipe down. Like, you know?
Don't make him suffer in the heat.
No. See, luckily I have these little fan things that go around his neck, so he's fine.
It's the
And
way
I
you
always
said
bring a
it.
lot of water. But
It's the way you said it. You said, yeah,
I know,
I'll
right?
take him on a hot ass day.
Like, at first, he used to stay with grandma and grandpa while I went to go do my events, but I had to bring him with me once, 2 months ago. I had to bring him with me once, and ever since then, he knows now what mommy does for work. Yeah, so he's like, I want to go, I want to help, I want to work. I'm like, baby, you see that now. When you get older, you're not gonna want to work. Like, enjoy your childhood.
Brandon, I did share a link to my website in the chat group there. I was one of Tariq's first customers back when he started Event Hawk. So, and I use IO. So if anybody wants to take a look, you can see what they look like integrated together.
There we go.
I just clicked the link. Ooh, LA, we got a mechanical bull. I love this pop-up, by the way.
Oh, wow.
See if it comes back up.
Okay, nice. Nice.
This looks fun. Look at his
I
pop-up.
actually wanted to reach out to Z. I'll probably reach out to her sometime this week about it, but I actually saw a website recently when I was doing that analysis. I was like, I like this. They had, like, as soon as you open up their website, it was like animation, like it was like a video of kids just like bouncing, and then it like switched over to like another video, pretty much like a little slideshow of videos, and I really liked it. But I was like, dang, I can't do that right now, simply because I don't have a lot of like content to use, right? Because I know people like have told me like, oh, well, you can just go on Google and this, that, and the third, but I'm like, I want to use mine. Like, I want to use my actual content, like, you know, make it neat.
Nice.
It just keeps going. Like, I was like, okay, it's gonna stop eventually, right? Like, the amount of things you have is phenomenal.
That's a lot.
It's phenomenal. I'm like, if I ever have a party, I'm going to this site.
Holiday
we have about
rentals.
600
The holiday
attractions.
rentals is
Yeah.
nice.
600?
People love doing holiday parties.
Yeah, right around 600. We have carnival rides, inflatables, 7 mechanical bowls. Yeah.
Trackless trains. Heck yeah. I've done what I saw something up here that I did before this. I did this in college. Like, because we're in Arizona, right? There's no real ice. So I've done synthetic ice skating. It's fun. I have a blast. And they
Where are you in
make
Arizona?
snow in the air, right? Like, it's like the foam. It's a lot of fun. Oh, this is awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, okay. Yes, getting that number.
Get that number.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Hold on. I gotta put it somewhere. I gotta put that phone number somewhere.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I have to go. He's a struggling here, but thank you so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Awesome. You guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Well, have a wonderful night. God bless.
All right.
That was so
Nice.
buddy.
Y'all
Was
next week.
a blast. Yeah.
Uh,
Call you tomorrow.
We need to start meeting up on Thursdays too, y'all. A pre-weekend meetup for real.
Like a little
After-
hype up meeting for the
You can
weekend.
always come and check out my Event Hawk training. Once you're a member, you can join my trainings every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. The same thing. I say it every Thursday. So come find me.
Hey, I
What do you
actually
do on
wanted to
Thursdays?
join
You
that.
gonna
Did you add
call me,
me?
so it don't matter.
What do you do on
Did you-
Thursdays?
The same training I do every Tuesday.
Did you add me to your Thursday ones? Because I think you said you were going to, and I don't know if because I haven't gotten any emails regarding like a Zoom meeting for Thursdays. I only get the ones for Tuesdays.
Well, it's the same. Did you already attend one?
I don't know. Did
Well,
I?
then it's the Event Hawk training. It's like the 101 training, like how to use Event Hawk.
Oh, that one. I did do
Yeah,
that. I thought it was like a every like kind of like this.
No,
I thought it was
no.
more like this
I
style.
do the
Oh,
same
okay.
thing. I do the same thing every Thursday. No, yeah,
Ah,
it's the
just
same
kidding.
presentation.
Yeah.